High school is a really weird time for kids like me. Kids who always define themselves by their grades, who spent more time reading than playing when they were younger. Kids who get straight A's in every subject and even manage to convince a middle school teacher to develop a moral philosophy club. We only ever had one member. Me. But yeah, it's strange to try and outgrow or even further grow into that role. High school has always been described to me as something equivalent to torture, but I've actually been really enjoying it these days. That is, aside from one kind of tricky part. I always told myself that I wouldn't define myself based on cliquish titles, but here, where everyone assigns you a clique based on one personality trait, it's become a little bit difficult to avoid. No, difficult isn't the correct word. It's impossible to avoid. So, I have become designated as a nerd, specifically the type that reads during lunch, which, yep, that one's on me. The type who chickens out during gym class and tries to get a note from a doctor to be excused. That one. Okay, that one was difficult, but that was only temporary, and it was because I got a 3rd-degree burn on my arm after attempting an at-home science experiment, which probably doesn't help my case, but I'm back in gym class now. That's something, right? And, of course, I'm the type of nerd who could never, ever stand a chance with a pretty, smart, sweet, popular girl like the girls who seem to rule the school. One of them in particular, she's in my Psych 101 class. She seems to have a real knack for this stuff. Usually that's an indication that someone has mental illness, and honestly, I can't exactly deny that claim, considering I certainly have high levels of anxiety and occasional bouts of depression, and I too take very well to psychology, so I'm going to hope that that's correlation that doesn't equal causation, for her sake, anyway. I mean, this world is tough enough as it is, trying to navigate high school life. I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like if she was struggling with that stuff too. I say that, and even though I struggle with it myself, it seems to be a whole other story for, well, high school girls. Always expect it to be one thing or the other. You can't be both, otherwise that's against some sort of girl code? Girl rule? I don't know. I think that sort of thing is starting to go away, but in this school, in this town, it's unfortunately still noticeable. That's what got my attention about her at first, actually. She had just moved here from another state entirely, and as soon as she introduced herself to the class, how could I ever keep from falling in love with that sweet, sweet voice. Her eyes were lit up. She smiled so brightly. She was excited. That is not how I felt on my first day of high school, much less my first day when I had to introduce myself to the class and share 3 goals for this semester. That was intimidating. But there she stood, all sweetness and confidence and a kind of self-assuredness that I have never seen in anyone. Mikasa has her own, and Aaron, he has his too, but Aaron's is the kind of confidence that comes from not really knowing what you're doing at all and just assuming that you're right. Mikasa's confidence, that's the kind that comes from years of having to fight tooth and nail to be taken seriously, to be viewed as more than what you are. Maybe her confidence is one of those two as well. Maybe it's a combination. But I don't think it is. I know that she hangs out with the crowd that, well, a few of my friends have taken to calling them the mean girls of the school. Historia, I mean, she isn't unkind. She's pretty, she's popular, she's smart, and she does seem to try to care about people, but her family's well off, and it does show in her personality and her attitude towards school. Sasha, of course, I mean, I don't know if she could be mean even if she tried. Genuinely, I have absolutely no idea. She tends to go along with the group. She just doesn't really care much either way, so she does whatever her friends are doing. And then, of course, there's Petra. Now, Petra, she is... I don't even know how to describe it. She seems so nice and sweet on the surface. She seems like the type of person who would lend a hand to anyone who needs help. But as soon as you try to come to her about anything, even to ask her where she got her earrings, she just glares. Like you dared to spill hot coffee all over her. I didn't ever think that she would be drawn toward them. Or maybe they're just drawn toward her. Evil tends to enjoy corrupting those who aren't anything like it. That sounds so ridiculous and obsessive and creepy, but it's true. Everything I've ever seen her do has been so kind and so genuine, and it flusters me to the point that I did something really, really stupid in front of her today. We were doing a worksheet for psych, and I wanted to have any excuse to talk to her. So I thought I would pretend that I didn't know the answer to one of the questions, I would ask for her advice. But when I got her attention and she turned around, what came out of my mouth? What's today's date? As if I could ever forget that it is October 3rd. My grandfather, he is one of the kindest, most caring people ever, but he does get a little foggy sometimes, and as a result, he messages me happy birthday on October 3rd every year because he forgets that it's only a month until my birthday. It's in November. So there is no world in which I forget that it is October 3rd. And yet I did. I forgot that it was October 3rd, and I just blurted it out, and oh God, she must think that I'm so stupid, but when she looked at me, she was smiling so eager and so cheerful. She was smiling like that at me. Me! Girls like her, they don't give me the time of day. Girls like her, they don't even pay attention to me. Girls like her don't even know I exist, but she looked at me like that, and how was I supposed to think at all? I don't know what I'm going to do. I swore that I would never let myself be defined by some stupid clique, but here it seems impossible to do anything else. It seems impossible for me to be with her when she's flawless. She's brilliant. She's gorgeous. She's so compassionate, and I'm just a nerd. A nerd who spends all his time in books, and whom everyone assumes, because I've never even interacted with another girl, aside from Mikasa, everyone assumes that I'm not attracted to girls. I am, and I'm attracted to guys, but in this case we're talking about a girl, and besides, most of the guys that I tend to like are extremely angsty and depressed magical men from fantasy novels, and no one needs to know that. Not here. No one here needs to know that. I wonder what she'd think if she knew that. Wait, what was... Oh my... Okay. Stay calm. I just got a text from her. She and I were in a group chat with some other psych students so that we could share some study notes. That's how she got my number and how I got hers, and she just texted me. She wants me to sit with her at lunch on Monday. Me. She wants me to sit with her. I know it doesn't seem like much of a big deal, but at this school, a girl like her, one of the queen bees of the school, asking me to sit with her. I think she likes me. And oh God. I need to actually figure out how I'm going to tell her that I like her too. Well,